Hey, Tony and Corey here with the Par Weekend Warriors Home Improvement Show. We're on location at an event in Prineville, Oregon today.
We're actually going to build something totally out of the box, out of materials completely unintended for that build.
That's right, so we brought in Mike Bagley with TJI by Weyerhaeuser, and he's going to show us how. Happy to be here.
Welcome to the Weekend Warriors Home Improvement Show, built by Par Lumber. Your Weekend Warriors, Tony and Corey.
Mike, we're going to be using a product that you make that's probably one of the most popular building materials ever made. It's called the TJI, made by TJI by Weyerhaeuser. You would use these in a floor system, in the underfloor, or in the upper floor. If somebody's not using these, why should they be?
You think about dimensional lumber, green or dry, it tends to shrink after it's been in the subfloor.
Causing squeaks.
This is long lengths, up to 60 foot, dry, engineered, laser straight. And there's no top or bottom to it. So you don't have to crown the board while you're trying to put it in the floor. So it's lightweight, and a single person can move long lengths and lots of depths, from 9.5 inches clear up to 20 inches deep for a perfectly straight joist for a floor.
Today we're going to be making some Sawhorses out of these TJIs, because if you're building with TJIs, you're probably going to have a little bit of scrap or leftover, so you can easily make some super strong Sawhorses. What do you have here?
This is actually timber strand. It's dimensionally matches regular lumber. So it's 1.5 by 3.5, 1.5 by 5.5, and it is perfectly straight, no crown, no bow. It's made out of poplar and aspen, and it's engineered for its strength.
What is the biggest benefit of using this?
If you're building a kitchen wall, you're hanging kitchen cabinets on it, and maybe you're hanging slate or granite on that wall, and you want a perfectly straight wall, you can put your cabinets up and you won't need to shim the cabinets, because when you have green or even dry lumber, they bow, they twist, and you may have some uneven sections in the wall, and that makes it more difficult to hang your cabinets up perfectly.
I'm so glad you brought this stuff. Show us how to make these Sawhorses.
Yeah, it's a great way to use extra pieces left over from construction. Here's a tip. You can use a piece of just plywood OSB to fill in the gap in between the top and bottom flange, so that way it gives your saw something to rest on to do a nice straight cut.
Got it. I noticed that these little holes, these little punches are like, it's like a hole punch in this thing. What's that about?
So at the mill, every 16 inches, they put an 1.5 inch knockout. So when your joists are in the floor, like in your second floor, you already have holes pre-cut for your electrical wires to run through the joist.
Wow, no cutting. That's very
You just
handy.
use a hammer and you can hit it on that round. It should be cut enough, and you can just pop those out.
Let's try that out. It's probably a little easier when it's installed.
So the legs are 33 inches long, and they have a 15-degree bevel on them. So that way the legs taper out away from the joist.
Okay, we're going to take our rear handle Makita saw. We're going to set it to a 15-degree. We need a tape measure.
Yeah, I got a tape. Both
degrees.
ends need to be at 15 degrees. So one's sitting flat on the ground, and one's 15 degrees into the TJI.
That cut's really smooth.
Let's make another one. So grab another 2x4.
I'm just going to drive these.
So we'll cut a smaller piece that goes underneath.
You know, this video is all about building something out of material that's not intended for. And TJI is so versatile, they've actually built a functional level out of the same product we're building those Sawhorses out of. This product is amazing.
So we cut these little webs to go down beneath as supports, and what we're going to do is we're going to screw these down.
Those little web things that they put on the bottom maintain the angle of the legs. They're tight at the top of the TJI, but down at the bottom, they are not. So they put it on that web thing to maintain the angle of the legs. You probably can't tell by looking, but the rear-handled circular Makita saw is actually set at a 15-degree angle, so that when they attach the legs at an angle like this, the bottom actually is sitting flat on the ground. So you wouldn't be able to have a square cut and have it work the same way that it's working here, so keep this in mind.
Now I'm just gonna throw a couple screws through the top to bring it together.
Something I get asked all the time about the joist. You can see that the joist is inside our Sawhorses upside down. All the writing's upside down. There's no top or bottom to an I-joist because there's no camber to it. So that I get a homeowner walks through their own home and sees all the writing upside down, and they're like, did they install them wrong? No, there's no top or bottom to the joist.
Unit of edge gold.
Unit of edge gold.
There you have it. We built these amazing Sawhorses out of some scrap material that you might have laying around your job site. Thanks, Mike, for coming out and showing us how to do that.
Thank you for the invite.
Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons down below and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our new videos.
And check out the Weekend Warriors Home Improvement Show wherever you listen to your podcasts.
We'll see you next time. Tony, it's Corey. Oh.